What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you are returning, thank you for coming back and watching this video today. If you are new, like, comment, subscribe. Welcome to the channel. It is so nice of you to join us. So basically what today we're talking about is today is the weekend video for the CW TV series that I'm doing. Every Tuesday I react to the Flash trailer for the episode that night. Every Thursday I react to the Arrow trailer for that night. And then one day during the weekend I break down the episodes from that week. So basically today I'm breaking down the beginning of the second half of the seasons. We just got back from break. They had their mid-season finales in December, and we're back. So happy to be back. It's so great. So basically I'm just going to go through, kind of talk about each episodes and yeah, give my thoughts, and then we will all go on our way. So first thing I'm going to talk about is, of course, the Flash episode. The trial of the Flash, big deal. End of the mid-season finale was him getting arrested for being framed for killing DeVoe, when in reality DeVoe was still in someone else's body now because he took the body from the other guy. And it was basically the trial. It was the whole thing about DeVoe being the thinker was so smart that he covered every basis of framing him. All the evidence was pointed toward Barry being the one that killed DeVoe. His wife was incredible. The lady that, the actress that played her did an incredible job. And, you know, there were a few arcs in this episode which I thought was really interesting. There was obviously the Barry arc where he was like, okay, well, I'm about to go to jail. Like, what do I do? But then there were other arcs as well. There was the Joe arc, whether or not you plant the evidence. It's the good thing versus the wrong thing. You know, will Joe end up going insane over trying to get Barry out of jail? That's a really interesting story arc. And then you have the Iris story arc as well. She was talking to DeVoe's wife in the middle of the trial after she had testified. And it's all the argument of how far would you go for your husband? And so that's kind of the arc that Iris is with right now. So I think that's really interesting, the way that they're going about both of these both of those arcs, both West arcs, and then of course you have Barry trying to not go to jail, which is really hard. Let me fix my light real quick. You can see it in my glasses. And yes, I thought the episode was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was a great episode to come back to. And, you know, spoiler alert, he gets convicted. His sentencing is life in prison for murder. And he ends up going and fighting a meta in the middle of the trial, and ends up risking his life with this radiation meta, one of the bus metas, of course. And I found it really interesting how very well done, whoever directed this episode, how they had Police Chief Singh or whatever, I don't know if he's the police chief, I'm pretty sure he is, commander or something. He was honoring the Flash at the same time as the judge was giving his opinions on Barry, and they were two polar opposites, but it was the same person, but no one knows. And I thought that was really well executed by who directed the show. I also found it interesting that we found a new power that Barry can do. Where when Iris was about to out him as the Flash, he was running so fast that everyone else was still, but he could bring Iris with him into that Speed Force. I don't know if it's the Speed Force. I have no idea. Don't quote me on that it's the Speed Force, because obviously Barry was trapped in the Speed Force before this season. But you know what I'm talking about. When Barry goes everything else is really slow and Barry's just regular because he's running so fast. He was able to bring Iris into that, and they could just talk without anyone else knowing what was going on. I thought that was really cool. And then he was he had no idea how he knew how to do that. And that was because when he was trapped in the Speed Force, he learned a bunch of stuff. And when he came out, he was just kind of blabbering on a bunch of BS that no one knew what he was talking about. But he knew how to do all these things now because he'd been in the Speed Force. And learned a new power, which was really interesting. And that's another thing. They are starting to realize, at the season premiere, when he was writing all those symbols down and saying all that gibberish, they're starting to realize that some of that stuff connects, which means that they will probably go back and start to try to decode whatever those symbols are, because those may be the future, like what's happening, because Barry, when he was trapped in the Speed Force, saw his life over and over and over again, his whole life over and over and over again. So he knows like what happens. He just can't remember it now because he's back to normal. So I thought that was really interesting. I thought this episode of The Flash was just great. It was awesome. The little Easter egg at the end, he's in the same cell that his dad was in. It had Henry Allen was here carved in the wall, which I thought was a really cool touch at the very end of the movie. It's kind of sad, but it was really cool. So props to them on that. Great episode. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I thought it was a really well put together, very well directed episode. Now we're going to hop into not the Flash. We just talked about the Flash. We're hopping into the Arrow episode. Not the favorite of the two. The Flash episode was by far my favorite, but it was still a good episode. You have Oliver, original Team Arrow. You had just Felicity, Diggle, Oliver. The other three are gone. Cade and James has a whole posse of bad guys. That was kind of the teaser going into the mid-season break, which I thought the Flash teaser was a lot better than the Arrow teaser. But good episode, going after Cade and James. Cade and James are really smart. When Black Siren went in at the beginning of the season, bugged the Arrow cave, so he had been watching them forever. He knew what they were doing. That's why he was so in front of. He was so many steps in front of Oliver and Team Arrow throughout the whole season. Then you have the whole dynamic of new Team Arrow, which is Wild Dog, Black Siren, and Curtis. Not Black Siren, Black Canary and Curtis forming their own team. So they haven't done anything yet, but they just made it official at the end of the episode, like, oh, they're doing their own thing. Oliver tried to apologize at the end, which I thought it was a good apology, but like when you delve into people's secret lives and you run surveillance on them, and it's like a complete invasion of privacy. So I kind of understand why they didn't come back, but I did think it was a good attempt by Oliver to really take the blame, say it was his fault, and they didn't come back. It's going to be a new Team Arrow. I don't even know what they're going to be called. I don't think that'll last that long, because the threat of Cade and James and his team is so big that I don't think, in my opinion, I don't believe that will last that long. I think eventually they will come back together. They will definitely come back together to defeat Cade and James, but I don't know. Time will tell. I'm not sure. Diggle is finally back. They put the little nano chip in his arm, so he doesn't have the tremor anymore. So Spartan will be back in the field next episode, which is pretty hype. I'm looking forward to that. And Felicity is back and hacking and doing all her stuff. I thought it was a good episode. I mean, this season of Arrow, by far, I thought has been a lot more entertaining to watch than The Flash. But if first episodes of the season say anything, I think The Flash is going to be more entertaining, but I'm not sure. We'll see. The trailers are already out. I will react to those. Flash Tuesday, Arrow Thursday. And then I'll be back here next weekend breaking them down again. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe if you are an Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl fan. Let me know in the comments what your favorite DC show is. Black Lightning also came out. Let me know what you think of Black Lightning. I haven't watched it, but I've heard it was pretty good. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, like, comment, subscribe wherever you are. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow for another video.